of people I talked to when they found out that the Equal Rights Amendment had not passed. I asked both students and adults, and all, including me, were under the impression that the ERA had passed back in the 70s or 80s. In addition, the National Council of Women's Organizations conducted a poll in 2012, where they learned that 72% of Americans already believe that the Constitution guarantees equal rights. So, in trying to answer the question, is it time to pass the Equal Rights Amendment, I first decided to figure out what it really is, and then find out why it hasn't passed. The Equal Rights Amendment was introduced in 1923 by Alice Paul. It states that the equality of rights under the law shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on the basis of sex, and that Congress has the power to enforce any provisions made to this article 2 years after the date of ratification. Wait, what? Basically, women and men should have equal rights. According to the Feminist Majority website, women make 77 cents to every dollar a man makes for doing the exact same job. In addition, the website also says that having a child results in wage bonuses for men, but wage penalties for women. In the 70s, the amendment was passed by both the House and Senate, hence the misunderstanding of why so many think it's legal. The next step was to have it ratified by 38 states. It was only ratified by 35 states, however, so it wasn't passed. Research shows that while the vast majority of Americans, 91% to be exact, believe men and women should have equal rights, many are opposed to the Equal Rights Amendment. On closer inspection, it's not the equal rights portion they're concerned about, but it's the potential loss of rights for others. Let me share a few examples from sites like the Arkansas Republican Assembly. First, as a federal constitutional amendment, it would be federal law. Some believe that this would take away the rights of the states to legislate important matters for its people. Second, many believe that the ERA would force states to fund abortions, causing pro-life taxpayers to have to fund something to which they're opposed, taking away the taxpayers' right to choose. Third, many contend that the ERA would subject women, like men, to the military draft. Military services for women would no longer be elective, therefore taking away the woman's right to choose. And finally, many believe that the ERA would cause private and religious institutions to fix their religious or policy-based principles, therefore taking away the church's rights to choose. So, after hearing both sides, is it time to pass the Equal Rights Amendment? To the extent it establishes what both I and the vast majority of Americans want, equal rights, absolutely. The challenge is, however, as history has shown, inability to address these opposing concerns has prevented and perhaps will continue to prevent its passage. So what can we do? What can the AAUW do? Let me share with you a story of my friend Elizabeth. In the summer of 2015, when she was just 8 years old, Elizabeth was studying pieces of paper currency. After close inspection, she asked her mom, "Why are there no women on any of these pieces of money?" Her mother, recognizing the great teaching opportunity, encouraged her to ask those who make the rules. So, Elizabeth decided to write the President of the United States. She put together an 8-page handwritten letter which included different suggestions of notable women she'd researched that could be put on the money, including Pocahontas. Sometime later, to both Elizabeth and her mother's surprise, she received a response from the White House. The White House thanked her for her letter, noted that this was a current issue, and invited her to their next meeting in Washington, D.C., where they would be discussing the idea. Fast forward 2 years later, where it's been announced that Harriet Tubman will be the new face of the $20 bill. Because of this, my friend Elizabeth has recognized that her voice matters. So what did she do? First, Elizabeth identified the issue. The Women's March on January 21st of this year showed that there are many equality issues that are of concern. So let's simplify. Let's address these issues one at a time. Second, Elizabeth educated herself. Let's spread the word to that 72% who thought it had already passed. Hollywood actresses are speaking out on unequal pay for actors. Perhaps they, like filmmaker Kamala Lopez, could broaden the discussion to include all women. Third, Elizabeth proposed a solution and promoted a constructive discussion. Perhaps both sides could reach some sort of resolution where the rights of all will still be protected. As an example, some look to the Utah Compromise, which is legislation that both recognizes and balances equal rights and religious freedoms. And finally, Elizabeth thoughtfully and respectfully let her voice be heard. As we look toward ensuring equal rights in the future, let us do similarly. We've already identified the issue, so let's educate ourselves. Let's propose solutions and promote constructive discussions in the right forums. If we do so, we can get what the vast majority of us not only want, but what we already thought we had. So come on, seriously.